Hi, I'm not really wanting to make this video, but I feel like I'm obligated to. I'm super nervous. I hate being so vulnerable and talking about a past and a partner that has hurt you so much and made you feel so less. And even being in the public eye per se, like, I love to tell you what's going on in my life and like who I'm dating and like what I'm doing, but it's a lot when it's about someone who also now is in the public eye. And I'm not here to tell my story and hate and shit on someone, because at the end of the day, we need to pray for an individual that possesses so much hate and so much hurt in his heart to hurt other people physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like, that's what I said when I got out of this and lived through what I went through with him. And I'm not here to hate on him. I'm here to tell my story because I have a voice, and it's been limited for so long because I'm terrified of this man coming back into my life. And there's just so much that I want to get off my chest, so you know in detail with screenshots, because I have every screenshot, I have receipts, and I want everyone to know that I had nothing to do with their marriage, or we were not together when they got engaged. People were saying that. And we dated for a year, from 2023 to 2024. I was physically abused by this man. I was mentally abused by this man. He took my past trauma and made me feel so safe and heard and understood. And I fell for it because I was stupid and codependent and idiotic. And I have no more shame anymore. There's thousands of women who have gone through what I've been through, plus worse things that's ever happened to them, and they can get out and tell their story. I have enough strength to tell mine. So this is what this video is going to be. I met Landon 2023 to 2024. I met him in Dallas, Texas. He's from Oklahoma. I'm from Texas. I met him. I was his bottle girl. He came all the time. Everyone said he was known for being the sweetest person. My guard was already up. I was 3 months abstinent. I was not in a relationship. I ended up getting a lot of trauma that happened to me in the state of Connecticut. I had someone steal my identity and lock me in a closet and then put a to my head and beat me to the point where I was in the ER. So I was traumatized. I was broken. I was hurt. I had a unresolved wound from my parental figures, with a disorganized attachment style, with a severe codependent issue. I experienced something that I wish no one has ever in their life would go through. But I hope that me telling my story and what I went through with the receipts, because I have such a weird feeling that people are gonna think I'm lying, and that's just how I've always been. So I ended up deleting my contact with him and getting rid of my number, and I deleted everything when I broke up with him in 2024. And my best friend sent me all the screenshots. So if it wasn't for her, I would have had nothing to showcase for. But we met in Dallas. I was his bottle girl. My friends knew Landon because he was always going out. I was 21 at the time. I lived in a different state, and I just never went out. I'm just not a going out person. I'm not a big drinker. I don't do drugs. He does that. Whatever he wants, I don't care what he does. So when everyone was like, oh my God, Landon's here, he's so sweet, he's so nice, he's a gamer. One of my friend's sister worked for his cousin that's Preston Plays. So everyone's saying he's just such a nice person. And I'm like, great, you could be a nice person. You're in my age range. You're freaking smart. I'm a sapiosexual and a demisexual. So I love when people are smart. I love having someone intellectually dominate me. I love that. So he's just really good with his words. And I told him I would just want nothing but friendship. So we did the 4th of July together. I met all of his friends. He met some of my friends, and everyone was just having a grand old time. And I went home after that, and he's like, I'll come with you. I was like, no, like, I'm not, I can't. Like, there's so much in my heart. I don't feel safe being with a guy I don't know. Everything like that, because I had to bring what happened to me into that, because that was in April, and we were talking in July, and then we started officially dating in August. He made me feel so loved, so seen, so heard, so understood. He took my trauma that I didn't want to open up about, and he made it feel like I'm safe. and I believed him, because at the end of the day, like, he was just such a nice person. I'm hearing it from all of his friends, from all of my girlfriends that know him personally, because they've been his bottle girl for years. And I'm like, wow, like, could this be the guy that I prayed for? Like, could this be everything I ever wanted in life? And I was not educated in therapy. I was not educated in psychology. I was not educated in anything spiritual. And he awakened something in me that I always knew I had. I always have been super, super, super emotional, and I felt everything that someone else was feeling. So I knew that I was a codependent early on in the relationship, because I'm fawning around him, because we have fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So I was doing that, and I was always like talking about how I'm hurting and like everything like that. So I realized that there was something neurologically wrong with me, because I kept on going back over and over again. And I don't want to make this a long video. So we met, we started dating. He cheated on me with the first girl. I'm going to show you the screenshots. This is the first screenshot. And then I've had such a broken part of me that was never healed and never fixed, and I kept on saying to myself, like, why am I attracted to the same quality men in different fonts? Why is this happening to me? And then I realized it was me, because I was vibrating at such a low frequency to attract these horrific men. And then I was like, okay, let me start healing myself. So I started researching into therapy, and I was about to break up with this man, because I was like, you know what? No, like, I've been traumatized by men. Stay away from me. I held my boundary very firm. He wrote me a love letter. He wrote me a book. He wrote me a song. He came to my house with thousands of flowers every time he messed up, and he just swooned me back in. And I was like, wow, like, he's putting this much effort into me, like a month into knowing him. He must love me. I was so stupid. I was so naive, and I was so young to ever think that's what love is. And after experiencing a non-toxic, super, super, super loving personality with my boyfriend presently, I'm like, wow, like, why was I ever so broken and so alone and so hurt and so desperate to love, to lick a knife of love off of a man? Like, he fed me nothing but lies. His words never correlated with his actions, so I was sacrificing my boundaries to attune to his freaking words, because his freaking actions were like below average. And I was so stupid, and it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. I took him back like 7 times. He cheated on me. I took him back. I ended up getting pregnant by him. I had my miscarriage. I was alone. He was doing his own thing. He wouldn't comfort me. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, fuck, I'm repeating a pattern. And we went to therapy. He found a therapist that specialized in BPD. He told me that I had BPD, and she looked at me, she's like, girl, you do not have BPD. You're too self-aware. You're too empathetic. That doesn't even make sense. You've never been suicidal. And he's like, and he's making me feel like I have something neurologically wrong with my brain. And I was like, no, there's no way. And then I actually believed him. And I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I'm never going to be loved. He's the only man that's going to love me. And that's what I thought, because he kept on throwing my past in my face. He kept on telling me that if I was a real woman, I wouldn't be doing like being a bottle girl. So I ended up quitting bottle service, because he told me that the woman that he wants to be with can't be a bottle girl. But he goes into the clubs and he loves the attention from every bottle girl. It makes no sense. And he cheated on me with other bottle girls. Like, it made no sense. In my brain, when I was 21, it made complete sense. So I lost my baby, and he was cheating on me again. He cheated on me, and this is the first time he laid his hands on me. And I'm going to show you the video. Trigger warning. And he was coming to come get me, and he punched a hole in the wall. He cornered me. I have pictures and videos. Hold on. This is him. This is what he would do to get me back in, because I started to think that I was the one with the issue, because I set the boundary. I showed this. It was that night. We're not even fucking 4 months in. I have to make a part 2, and I don't want this. It's literally 10 minutes long. I'm gonna speed through this. It's only be one more part, so go to part 2.